Hello guys, my name is Washington. I'm here again to show you my new product. The name is Easy Snow Scatter, and I've been developing this for my personal use during this December since the release of Blender version 4.0, which I'm porting all my tools to 4.0 and updating them. Then I just give it a pause on the updating on my tools, just developing this specific tool because I need to do this task, which is snow. I live in Canada, and here in Canada we have lots of snow during the winter, and it's very common. We are requested to do some snow scenes for projects during this time. Okay, and that's why I developed this tool because I want to create a snow which I want to create a geometry nodes tool which was easy to use, pleasant to use, and also it gives me like fine-tune results. Okay, and I figured that Blender, the default snow tool is great, but uh, the problem for me is that applies to one object. So you pick a certain object and apply the snow, and then you have to be reapplying again, picking up the objects, applying again, and that for me it's not very useful because I need something that kind of would be able to cast snow in my entire scene at once. Okay, and that's why basically I had created this tool. First, to get a better quality, and second, to scatter the snow to the whole scene or parts of the scene. You know? And geometry node is a great tool for this. I'm gonna show you. Okay, so you can see the tool is simple. That's what you are gonna get. Okay, very simple. You have just basic parameters here, and I'm gonna show you straightforward how it works. Okay, so let's go here and push it something from Blender Kit, maybe some architecture, maybe something like this. I don't know if it's gonna work. Yeah, it works. Okay, let's maybe add some ground here. Let's add some ground, something like this, maybe. Right. Like this. Okay. And maybe let's add some other elements here so you can see maybe this guy here. What else? Just want to have some different geometry. I see. Sometimes Blender Kit you have to keep pushing to move forward. This one is a nice one, but I don't want something like that. Something like this will be nice. Something like this, maybe. Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's put it this guy here. Okay. And let's get some scan. Scan objects. Rocks. I want some rocks. Yeah, that may works. No. Tell me something rocks. I want something more like maybe something like this. Oh, something like this would be good. I want to have some rocks so I can show you the effect that I want to get. Okay, maybe something like this. Uh, this, right? Let's do something here in the camera. Let's see. Nice angle. Something like this. Okay, that works. Okay, so now those are all the objects we have in our scene, okay, except for the easy snow scatter. Those are the objects. So the only thing you have to have is you have to create a collection in which your scene will be into it. Like it can be scene collection. It can be any name, doesn't matter. Just drag everything you want to be in your scene here, and then let's go back and picking up our easy snow generator. Okay, easy snow generator is based on a line. So if you go to press tab, go to edit mode, so that's basically a line, so you can drag and drop here, right? It came with these properties like on view snow points or view snow planes. That's for optimization. This is the plane which the snow will be casted, so you can control and see where the snow will be casted. Okay, this is the range, okay, in which you can expand or not your snow. For example, if you want to cover the entire scene, you can just put it like this and expand the range towards the whole scene. Okay, and play around with your snow. Okay, and put remembers everything above your scene. Okay, don't leave it like this. The snow has to be above because it's gonna be casting on it. Okay, you can do this way, or if you are more selective in which areas you want to have your snow, you can kind of decrease the range of your snow and kind of play around with these, like what I'm gonna be doing here now. Just select draw, and then you kind of, oops, just leave the, don't forget to leave the cursor where you want to draw, the height you want to draw your line, and then you can kind of, be more or less more selective in which place you want your snow to be, right? Something like this. Here we go. And then if you want to see where your snow would be, but not having the mesh there, because when you want to see the mesh, then it takes some time to calculate that. So you kind of see just the view snow point, okay? So the snow disappear because there's nowhere casting, okay? Why? Because you have to put the collection here. The collection in which your snow will be casting on top of it, which is scene. So you drag your scene here, and now if you put it points, you will see that all your snow will be casted here on those places. All right. And why it's not happening on the ground? Because the ground is this plane and this plane is out of scene. If you put the plane here, then you see where your snow will be casted. Don't worry about these guys being like this, because this will be smoothed out in the final result. Okay, or if you are not, if you want to make sure that your snow will be here as well, you just go to your edit mode, okay, again, and then you start to draw your snow to cover those areas. Okay, you can do pretty much it. All right, and then if you want to see that now, how it look like in your render, you see that it's just the snow, it's just points. Okay, there's nothing going on, it's just points, right? When you want to see the snow, you want to go here and remove this here, guy. Okay, when you press this here, you will see the snow. Let's remove the snow pieces for now and see just the mesh, how the mesh will look like for the snow. Okay, we will remove it here, we'll wait a bit, and then here we go. That's our snow. Okay, that's how our snow will look like from the beginning. Okay, if you go to the shader, and you can tell the snow is happy. Okay, if you go here to the borders of your snow, you can see there is a nice transition, a smooth transition, which makes the snow doesn't look that doom like, you know. If you go here, you will see the snow kind of blends well, right? Let's apply the snow shader to the plane as well. Well, let's first, just for the sake of optimization, just leave in the points. Okay, and for the ground, we would kind of just copy the material selected. So now the ground has this snow shader as well. Doesn't need to be, it's just because I did it. Okay, so what else? What else? What else? Okay, now you have these two parameters here and the other parameters that I wish I could show you how it works, and but in order to do that I will kind of use just a tiny part of my snow. In this case I will separate this part from the rest. Okay, so I have here one geometry node and here another one, and for this one I will kind of just hide it for now because I want to have a quick feedback on how the snow will look like. Okay, and for this I think I can even take this guy and bring it here so it covers this part here. Okay, so let's see the mesh. The mesh look like this now. Okay, so we have those settings that all those has to do with the quality the of your snow. Okay, right now your poly count of your snow is pretty low. Okay, and that the reason is because of this guy. If you leave it 0, the snow will be like totally quantified, like, and will be, it will have more resolution, but you don't need that and you don't want that. So maybe you want, depending on your what you want to achieve, but for now I think that 0.5 it's a good amount. If you leave it 1, it will be like very melted, right? So 5 it's good. Okay, the scale mean and the scale maximum, it defines how blocky the snow will be. Okay, for example, if you leave it scale mean, for example, 0.3, let's say, and the scale maximum 1, you see your snow starts to kind of be less floppy. Okay, see it starts to melt more into the things, right? Like this. You know what I mean? Let's bring it back to how it was. Okay, 8 and 0.5. This way. Okay, and you have the range I showed you already, and this the distance mean and the distance maximum, it means that your snow will have more scattered areas. Okay, for example, if I go here, this 0.1, see that your snow it has more holes everywhere. You know what I mean? The snow has more holes, right? So that's why I like to preserve 0.02. So I have a solid small because, and the voxel means how it will look like in terms of voxels. Voxels are the amount of how can I explain voxels? The amount of volume, the density of the volume to create that mesh. That means that I have two voxels here. The voxels for mesh to volume, volume to max, to mesh. Here, if I play around with these and put it bigger like 0.1, see what happens? It becomes like one single piece because the voxelization it makes everything simpler. You know what I mean? It makes everything simpler. So it doesn't take that much details. Okay? Maybe that's what you want. It depends. But for this case, I will leave it the same way. If you instead of leaving 0.3, 0.01, you will get more details. You see? You get more details everywhere, the same thing. Okay? So let's leave it with 3 is a good balance. And this one, the same thing. If I put 1, look at that. Pretty bad, right? If I put it 0, 1, wow, you see? That draws lots of more, that draws more details over the snow. And maybe that's what you want. I don't know, depending on what you want. Okay? Let's leave it like 0.03 was before. And then you have the snow pieces. The snow pieces, this means that I add pieces to the snow, right? And in this, what I'm doing is I'm adding an extra volume of the snow because sometimes the snow look like that you have it falls more in one area for some reason in the other area. It makes some kind of irregular areas. Okay, and these creates some very interesting shapes. Okay, if you render this out, you would not see the separation between the pieces because of the shader of the snow. Okay, the shader is made for it. Okay, and you can control the size of your snow pieces and the seed of your snow piece. Let's say that you got a big snow piece here you don't want, you can always control the seed here. Okay, and it change the snow pieces, the places where the snow pieces they are placed. Or if you don't like the size, you can control the size here. Okay, two, and you basically are not seeing none of them here. Maybe just a little bit here, but let's put it 5 for example. Then you start to see some here. Okay, and if you put 7, then you start to see more. Okay, and you have the details extra. The details extra, they are added on the kind of on the edge of the snow contact with some other areas, and they kind of help sometimes somehow in some areas to have a little extra detail. You know what I mean? Let me see if you can let me show you if you can see this here. But there's something going on here. Okay, you see those pieces, little pieces here, that kind of creates a nice feeling of little pieces of snow, you know, where it goes. And if you want, you can use it. If you don't want, you can kind of remove it or leave it just a little bit or leave it a lot. For example, if we put like 5, you'll see that it will become like super crowded of those pieces. Okay, so if you leave it like 5, you would have like little tiny pieces of it everywhere. You basically don't see them that much when they are here. Okay, and just keep that in mind that all of this takes more time to calculate. Okay, and you don't need to use this parameter. So let's bring it back our snow and see how everything will go together. Okay, let's go. We'll remove this material from the ground and I will leave it this just like that. And I will add just the snow pieces as well on this one to see how it goes. When you add the snow pieces, you see that you will have snow pieces everywhere in your scene. So I would advise you to turn this to the maximum quality just by the time that you are gonna render, because you don't need to see that all the time. If you need to see a little part of it, you just separate the mesh, see that, and then play around with. But I do not advise you to use these all the time uh, during your other modifications, because you would make Blender slower. Okay, so now if we go, I don't like this guys here, but you always can choose to change here the seed of your snow pieces. Okay, but let's see how it goes. Let's render this out. Maybe placing some HDRI, I don't know. You see, I don't like that. To me, it's kind of unnecessary piece here. But anyways, let's change this. Let's do some rendering settings. I like that. World. Open HDRI. Which one? I don't know. Choose one. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Oh my goodness, it's a Wild West, the middle of the city. Doesn't make any sense, Washington, what you are doing. Oh my goodness, this one, much better. Oh my goodness, so dark. Okay, and this snow has some properties. Okay, right now, the snow shader has some properties that defines that the shader is a bit dirty, you know, and you can always change this. Okay, so for example, now if you select the snow and you can go to the property here, the property of your material, sorry, you have this shader, which is the snow shader, right? And you can always play around with the snow dirty and maybe remove it if you want to remove it completely. Okay, and leave it just pure white snow or something like that. Okay, or if you want to have some just a little bit in the subsurface as well, you can play around with the subsurface and change it a bit and having less it depending on the light of your scene, right? You will like more subsurfaces or less subsurface. It depends, right? I think for this kind of light, the snow looks kind of okay. Okay, I will just try do one seed of pieces and see if it I remove these guys from here because these guys I don't like it here. I may add some more here. Okay, it was removed from there. Okay, good enough. Let's render this out and see how it goes. Okay. Service doesn't look that good. I like this area here a lot, but I don't like the other area over there. I don't like this area here. You see, this area doesn't look realistic. All the rest looks kind of okay. Okay, what I can do to minimize that is using the extra details, which is these guys here, and I will already set this up to 1.2, add that, okay, add that here, okay, now we can render it out. Let's see how it goes. I like to play around with it because it's easy, it's easy to do, it's nice to play around. It gives me a good fine results, a good results like really quick, right? And I hope that will be useful for you as well, guys, as it is to me. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, maybe I have something going on here. No, nothing that really affects here. In this case, I would remove this part here on the snow in the line and play around with that part specifically to get what I want for the snow here. Okay, but for the rest of the scene, I kind of like it, and I like the way the extras add some extra details here. You see the details here, kind of the border that I like that. Yeah, there we go. There is, guys. I hope you guys like it. These two is gonna be available on Gumroad and Blender Market. If you guys are interested in more tools, my most recent tools was Easy Planter Scatter and Easy Tree Generator. Easy Tree Generator is a very nice tool based on geometry nodes that allows you to create, uh, I would say, lots of trees, lots of kind of trees, and you can place fruits, you can place flowers, fruits and flowers, you can create grass, you can create plants, not just trees but plants, okay, and like lavender, like any kind of things, if you really kind of knowledge the tool, you can do things really quick. Trees, in terms of trees and vegetation. Okay. And the other one is easy tree scatter, easy plant scatter, which it's a bunch of presets of plants that we use a lot for real projects with the names and everything set it up just for scattering on your scene. The scatter is it's ready with the plants. You just need to draw the line, choose the terrain or not choose the terrain, and then your line will project, your scatter will be fine. You can create a very fancy garden like so quick. And my idea is to be updating those tools regularly. I know that I've not been updating them for the previous month because I was focusing on other things. But I will kind of, my plan is not having more tools for now, right? And keeping developing the tools that I have already. Okay, because I work 8 hours per day, and this is a side part of things that is more like a hobby and then work specifically. But I would be doing that because that makes me happy. Okay, see you guys soon. Take care.